your stream is still going. Hey yo, my favorite people. Hi Doug, how are you?
Blaze! What's up, brother?
I'm good. Good evening, all. Good evening. Uh, you guys are criminals. You know that? Chris, good evening. Joe, good evening. Sunny, good evening. Noise. I know Luna is pumping. Well, was pumping, right? So there you go. Good evening. Good evening. Where's everybody? Slacking in Discord. People usually take a few seconds to show up, unless something's pumping. Unless if this stream was called Luna, everybody would be here.
Right?
When this stream was called Luna earlier, you guys were all here, ready to go. 200 people ready to go. Now, Johnny, good evening.
Not
Hi.
so much.
How's your day? How's your day, Doug?
It's been great. It's been
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic to be re-entering the hot trades community. I missed you guys a lot, but
Yeah, missed you.
it's such an awesome things that you've set up here. You know,
Mhm.
everyone's like super nice. Other communities, they're just like, "What are you talking about? Don't you understand that?" You know, they're like downplaying it, but
Mhm.
everyone here is like, "Hey, dude," you know.
Hi, Noise. Hi, Johnny. Hi, Sunny. Hi, MJ. Good evening. Are you excited for tonight? Are you excited for this interview, Doug?
Absolutely, man. I'm telling you,
So,
this
yeah.
guy's like next generation of like what politicians should be and what they could be and what they
Yeah.
will be. That's what I'm
I'm
going to leave it up
excited,
to you guys to
actually.
decide. But
Yeah, I like with the letter you've told me. I'm genuinely excited to just sit back and listen. He sounds very cool. I'm excited. Hi, Roger. Good evening. Anita. Good evening. Hey, hello. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Should be good to go. Little setup here. We're just gonna give it a few more minutes here, and then we should be good to go with the
so
interview. Mhm.
what have you? Is like everyone watching lately? I know Luna is the big thing. When I last saw you guys, it was Solana, right? Solana was like
I mean,
the one
we
ripping straight up, and
Yeah, you know us, Doug. We talk about everything and anything, right? Ada, Algorand, and anything that people are interested in, right? So,
yeah,
yeah.
free popcorn.
Free popcorn? Oh no, we're getting into AMC and GME now.
Did I say
um, free
AMC
popcorn.
popcorn is actually very good. I don't know if you guys have been to Regal Cinemas and AMC. AMC
Okay,
popcorn is fantastic.
okay.
I'm excited for their home delivery system, but not to get into that all.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Someone joked today about how a medium popcorn is more expensive than a share of AMC, and I thought that was funny.
Do
So
you know? Just fun fact about movie theaters that they don't make hardly any money on the movies for
mhm.
like the
They
first
make
3 weeks. All the profits from the actual movie
go
tickets
to,
go right
yeah.
back to the okay.
Oh, okay, that makes
So
sense
let me
though.
give away
Makes
free
sense.
popcorn. I'm saying they're giving up their only profit.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone kind of makes fun of like,
Uh,
oh, AMC just gives us free popcorn. It's
ah,
pretty important.
that's
They give you
why AMC is getting into all the popcorn, like gold flavored popcorn, uh, cherry flavored popcorn. That's why. Hmm, interesting. Let me see here. La, la, la.
Let me ask you guys something. I was debating whether to wear glasses or not no glasses tonight.
Mhm.
So let me just give you here.
Okay, let's go. Can you tell us a little bit about Dr. Tim before
Dr.
we
Tim
before we bring him on?
is
Yeah.
is an absolute game changer when it comes to like when you hear people in Congress,
Hmm.
they there's someone that like went to school
Hmm.
for political science, right?
Hmm.
They went to
Yeah.
school to learn how to be a politician.
Hmm.
And then when you become into Congress or you get in the Senate,
Hmm.
you're then once you're in and you do a good job and people know your name, that's it. It's like for the rest of your life, that's your career. Like I chose to be a politician,
Hmm.
and that's what my career is. But that's not what it was designed to be. It was designed when it first started, you know,
Hmm.
in the 18th century, 19th century, you had your trade. You were a blacksmith, you were a lawyer, a doctor,
Hmm.
Dr. Tim. and
Mhm.
you were egged on by your peers to say, hey, you have a lot of good points. You got, a lot of people in our neighborhood or whatever. Why don't you
Mhm.
go run for office, whatever? And they
Mhm.
would go and they would serve for 4 years, 6 years, and then they say, okay, I'm gonna hand it off to someone else. I gotta get back to
Mhm.
I got a job to do over here.
Mhm.
That's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Tim will go into it. And it's funny. I kind of mentioned to him. I was like, I'm known. My nickname, as you guys all know, is Doc.
Yeah.
And I'm not a doctor, and he is a doctor, and
Yeah.
he likes to go by Tim. But
Mhm.
we'll get into
Okay.
it.
Okay. Okay. Are we ready to? I'm sure people are just gonna slowly trickle in, which is. But are you ready to? Are we ready to go, dog? Are you ready for
Yeah,
this? Are you ready? Alrighty,
let's
let's
light this
go.
candle.
Hello, hey, Dr. Tim.
Hey, what's up?
Hey-o.
How
I
are
just wanted
you?
to, good. Blaze and Doc, what's up, guys? Hey, I just wanted to let you know. I
Mhm.
apologize. I'm usually not in my vacation home,
Yep.
but I wanted to take the time
Uh-huh.
on vacation
Yep.
and have this conversation with you guys.
Okay, so sounds
I love these green screens. I got to tell you,
yeah,
they're
yeah. Oh,
phenomenal.
yeah. I recognize that one right away because I've used it a few
Because there's two. There's
times.
literally there's a brick wall where it looks like I'm like shoved in a back alley somewhere, and then there's like this super luxurious fake
Yeah.
house.
House. Yeah.
So all right, I guess I'll
Oh,
go with the sweet fake house
yeah.
here.
No, looks good.
Decisions.
Looks
Yeah,
like
it was a tough call.
you're right at home. You're right at home.
I
Yeah,
just went out straight up bedroom.
Yeah.
This is a green screen. This isn't real. So
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. We all have green
it's funny.
screens. Yeah,
I got a
go.
smaller budget for my green screen. So
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Zero. Mine was free.
That's you. It's nice to meet you, Tim. Doug
Yeah,
has
you
been
too.
talking quite a bit about you, so I'm excited to, just hear you talk
Sure.
about politics, crypto, stonks, all of it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, just to kind of break the ice,
Mhm.
one thing that Doc and I had talked about was kind of the what's next when we go back in time and we talk about the GameStop movement and really what that did globally
Mhm.
in proving that we as people have the power, right? I mean,
Mhm.
we literally for a moment in time commanded the market. It wasn't just like this. I mean, we were literally having Elon Musk getting fights with Vlad
Yep.
on Clubhouse. I don't know if you
Yep.
remember. I was
I re-
actually on that. I was on that call. I was listening in,
yeah.
and
Wow.
man, it's like you know this is kind of what I envisioned is like what was next. So
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
proved that we as people still have the power, which is
Mhm.
fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, that's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Um, and then, of course, we go down the list, and we've seen that those who believed in GameStop in this movement, they weren't holding it for the monetary value; they were holding it for the movement, right? Which is fantastic. So enter then AMC.
Mhm.
People weren't buying it for the monetary flip. At least the majority of them in the moment weren't buying it for that quick flip.
don't
Mhm.
let them kid you, Tim. Don't let them kid you.
I would say, but originally, the original movement was more like we're making a statement. I don't care if it goes to $1 million, if it goes to zero. I'm part of this historical movement,
Yeah.
and people were buying GameStop, me. People were buying AMC, me. People were moving into Dogecoin, me.
Mhm.
All these things were coming up, and I'm just like, we sat back and we were like, holy crap, this is phenomenal. Like, this is
Yep.
exactly what the world needs to know, that we as people still have this power.
Mhm.
So my question then was, I was kind of waiting and watching from like the back end, wondering what was next. Like, what's this GameStop movement going to grow into?
Mhm.
And I knew that the 2024 elections were coming,
Mhm.
but in my state here in California, I didn't realize that there was a special election that was kind of like this expedited path to, at the very least, making waves in the
Mhm.
political realm to let
Mhm.
those that are holding seats now know that we're here. We
Mhm.
haven't gone away, because a lot of them have downplayed us and said, it was just a moment in time, and they're
Mhm.
gone.
Yeah.
That's not it. We may be a little bit more quiet than we were originally, but we're all still here.
Mhm.
And knock, knock, knock. Politics is the next step. It's really where, if we really want to flex the power of the people,
Mhm.
this is where you guys are alluding to, where I stand in politics, and I put them in air quotes aside from
Yeah.
my house. Where's my
Yep.
house?
Yeah.
the air quotes.
Yeah.
I'm not a politician. I've never been a career politician. I have zero interest in being a career politician. I love my career as a doctor here in LA. But I really believe that we have an opportunity to bring back something very unique on the back of the GameStop, AMC, and the cryptocurrency explosion that we saw. And I've kind of coined the term, Doc, as you know, the collaborative representation, right? Which is a big deal because for the most part, people that, and by most part, I mean all part, anybody that's held a political seat, it's been their seat, and they're going to talk to us and tell us what it is that we need without collaborating or actually reaching out to their constituents. So,
and they'll defend that seat with
everything
that they have without care to.
I mean, it's funny you bring that up. I'm going to read you a quote from my own state. I'm running as a Democrat, by the way, and this quote came out 3 days ago. This is from it was in the ballot, right? So Cal Matters is something that's big in California, but this is their quote. We're already communicating directly with California Democrats, and we will do everything necessary to ensure Senator Padilla is victorious on June 7th. That's from the Democratic Committee. So
the same side.
The same side. I'm running as a Democrat. I'm running as a Democrat, and I also believe in democracy. And Democrats notoriously have always said, it's the people say. It's the people say. It's the people say. And then they come out brazenly and say, we're going to do everything in our power as a Democratic committee to make sure Alex Padilla is in this seat. And I'm like, it's just so backwards.
There's so many things wrong with that statement and how he set it up, put it out there, and executed it, you know? And I know that you're running at a Democratic, but we talked about how, you know, being party blind is what's kind of like dividing us, you know? I have more Republican friends than I think I have Democrat friends. And the next day I have more Democrat friends than I have Republican friends. But if we all just separate our unique beliefs, I think what you're going on is like run or vote for the person.
Yep.
Rather than
the party,
right?
Yep. And unfortunately, I hate watching exploitation of bad things. So like we watched this Roe versus Wade thing come out at a very inconvenient time in terms of election, because now this has given people the opportunity to dig their teeth and their talons into something that's very emotionally attached to people. And what they've done is they've leveraged something like this, and they really are drawing this line in the sand where you have to be one way or you have to be the other way. And listen, it doesn't matter what you believe in, it's still you, and your party isn't what dictates what you are as a human being supposed to think or believe. It's those that got you there, those that you're supposed to be representing, that are supposed to be you're the voice of those people. So even though I may have my personal beliefs, I can't be party bias, and that's where it's all gone wrong.
That's right. I was going to say, like, once you are an elected official, it's almost like your beliefs become second. It should be your constituents first,
right?
Then yours. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that you kind of get that because politicians, they want to get what's best for them. And you mentioned something about once you're elected, you're able to like fill like jobs around you.
Yeah, that's a good segue. So part of the initial reason why I wanted to run in this special one is obviously I want to have the opportunity to protect crypto against overregulation, because there are bills being presented at the Senate level now that are, in my opinion, they're overregulating and they're very Bitcoin biased.
Okay.
They say cryptocurrency, but in the bill it says Bitcoin. So, but again, I don't know if this is ignorance, if it is actual bias. We don't know. But to have somebody on the in to be able to look at these bills, dissect them, I can be like, hey, here's this bill. I'm gonna go onto Twitter. I'm gonna host a space. I'm gonna talk about this cryptocurrency bill that's being proposed with everybody in the crypto community.
Mhm.
I'm going to say, here's what's being presented. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
How can we make this better? And we're going to talk, we're going to collaborate, and I'm going to take it back to the Senate floor and say, hey, this is what the people think.
Mhm.
This is what I mean by collaborative representation, where there's issues that impact us as individual citizens first and primarily at this level, and then taking that back to the Senate and saying, I talked to my constituents. This is what they want.
Mhm.
And this is why I would draft this bill on behalf of the communities and the people that are willing to speak up and say this is a thing. So, like you were saying, the Senate seat you're given anywhere between 40 and 60 positions within your little cabinet to fill.
Mhm.
The vast majority of politicians fill those people with their lunch runners, people that'll get on the phone and make sure they're already lobbying for 2012 or 2024, 2024, and then 2028, and then 2000, whatever it is, 12.
They're just cold calling all these people trying to get support and money and everything like for the next election. They're not
right, and it's funny because
problems.
I asked, I was like, what happens if we won this? Like, what's the first thing? Like, what's the process? Are you flown out? Or they give you time to pack? And they said, no, the first thing you do is you hire a team day one to start calling people to pay and as donors for your next election. I'm like, next election? I probably haven't even been in the seat yet. But this is what's going on. So we have senators that are filling these 40 to 60 seats with food runners, flight consultants, people that make their life easier, rather than like what I want to do is fill them with consultants.
Yep.
Right? Fill them with consultants. I want to hire crypto experts. I want to hire people that are versed in environmental science studies. Healthcare is obviously my strike zone because that's what I'm in. But I'd be foolish to say I know everything. So I'm going to fill it with some healthcare workers, some people that are in it. The education system's flawed. So why wouldn't your staff should be filled with, every major thing in terms of people that are sound and versed. So you can diversify the information and properly write law or bills to become law.
Yeah.
And this is a big flaw that's existed in our political system. And I believe that, to be honest with you, I think the only way it can be properly drawn back is to this, to do what I'm doing in collaborative. Yeah. That's just how I see it.
I could take a guess, you're a smart guy, but I could take a guess, you have your own opinions on homelessness and opioid addiction and cryptocurrency and space exploration. And, the list goes on and on and on. You have formed your own opinions, but yet you understand and believe that somewhere out there, there's someone who their whole lives, his and her whole lives are how to solve homelessness, how to take care of the opioid crisis, space exploration. And you want to pick and choose, surround yourselves with them.
Yep.
Rather than worry about your next turn and the benefit of yourself.
And again, we could talk about term limits and what I believe in terms of term limits. I'm very firm in believing in term limits. But yeah, I mean, that as a senator, you have access to everybody. You really do. If I was elected and I won, I mean, whoever I call is going to be like, what? You a United States senator's calling me? Yeah, I'll drop everything and jump on that call, right?
Yep.
So it's a big deal, and yeah, you want to surround yourself. Again, any politician that stands before you and says, or at least gives you the perception that they know everything, is probably a career politician, because that's their job. They're very good at speaking. They're very good at giving you the perception that they know everything, and it's not good. And again, just look at the status of our union. We're more divided now than we've really ever been. And honestly, this GameStop, AMC, cryptocurrency movement, I like to say this with the Dogecoin community because that's where I came from.
Yeah.
What Dogecoin did, which was phenomenal, and I would love to use this quote, is Dogecoin became this explosive global movement right at the beginning of COVID when unity was dead. Yeah. I mean, we were talking radical left versus radical right. And what Dogecoin did is it brought everyone to Twitter, mostly Twitter and Reddit.
Yeah.
And it brought unity at a time when we were literally most divided, because you had the radical right versus the radical left, and nobody was allowed to debate. Nobody was allowed to argue. Your opinions are wrong because they're different.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, like eventually there needs to be an out. Like, and I'm so willing to be the scapegoat because I don't have a political career to lose. They do. They do.
You already have your career.
I have my career, so
That's
I can say truth. And the reality of it is I come from our level. I'm not going to talk down to anybody because my concerns are our concerns, because I live just like everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, if there's 34 million Californians and there's 1 or 2 United States senators in California, there's 34 million Californians and 2 senators. So someone from that 34 million's got to come in with that level of mind and say, you know, what the heck's going on here? What, like, we watch these politicians go from 200,000 to, you know, $18 million in net worth in 10 years. And you're like, wait a minute. Yeah. And you're going to stand up there and you're going to tell me what I need? Because like how did COVID affect you as a politician? You just made more money. You were able to trade behind the scenes, inside trade. You know, I keep wanting to say I want to have these debates, and I want to ask any of my opponents, how much was your COVID stimulus check?
Right.
And they'll be like, I'll be like, you guys are the same people that are telling us we're in this together. Yeah. No, we aren't in this together. We might be on this side, but you're up there. You're comfy cush. You're set.
Yeah.
How hard is it to like find a roll of toilet paper? How much is a gallon of milk? You know, like things like that they can't relate to.
No, and you know how they can relate? Their little runner that was one of their consultant seats maybe got stuck in traffic, and they were relatable because that there was a runner that was in that so they couldn't find the toilet paper when they had to go to Walmart for them. It's wild. And again, I got nothing to lose. I come from our community. I want to be able to hold a seat in a collaborative manner, especially when issues are brought up about what matters to us at our normal human life level, not this upper 1% echelon life. Yeah. And talk and collaborate and grow, and like what really matters, talk about it.
And you mentioned to me once, Tim, you said that, you know, once you are there and you want to listen to everyone what they want, when people run for these offices, they promise things, they have ads that contain certain things. And we had a conversation and you were telling me something interesting about Tesla. And then now I think everyone's ears might perk up when I say Tesla, because it's very, you know, very followed stock and stuff like that. But there's one story in particular that I think you could enlighten us on.
Yeah. So what I learned, which is absolutely disgusting, is if you declare candidacy, you are basically given like a immunity. So you can host any commercial. I could defame you. I can tell you your product's garbage. And the reason I found this out is because Dan O'Dowd, and I'll name him because I've asked for debates and I've been denied 100 different times. Dan O'Dowd he's running as a Democrat. His entire campaign, which was quoted in Politico, is that he doesn't want to win. He just wants to smear Elon Musk and Tesla's software, the full self-driving cars, and that's it. So he's a self-proclaimed billionaire, and this is, again, now we'll get into thinking, right? A self-proclaimed billionaire needs the campaign discount perks to run commercials so he can slander Elon Musk and Tesla. How does that make any sense? He's a billionaire, but he needs the campaign discounts. And he's also a software engineer who's created some radical software.
He's a software, CEO, right?
Yeah. He's created big time stuff, but his entire campaign is I don't want to win. I just want to slander Elon Musk and Tesla.
So Tim, I have his 30-second commercial.
Is there a way to play it? Because that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah.
His commercials. Listen, this is a guy. So his commercials are all somebody is in the back seat of these self-driving cars with a camera like this. I'm gonna record. Oh no, the car's going off road. I'm like, wow, boy, what a lucky guy for you to be right there in that exact second that this car decides to go over the double yellow. Like, are you really think we're that stupid? But the answer, you know what the answer is, and sadly is the answer is yes. These people legitimately think we are that stupid.
And you'll see in a couple seconds, you could just tell that he's a man of elder age, and he doesn't want to make this a career. I think if he got elected, he would probably like kind of pass it on or whatever.
He said he didn't want it. He's even quoted like, "No, I have no interest." And then he said if he won, he would endorse Padilla. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what the first interview I was in, they're like, California's Senate run has become the weirdest of any Senate run I've ever seen. That was from the interviewee talking to me. And I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's absolutely insane. And then we talked about this guy who's literally abusing the campaign political system to smear, of all people, probably the most innovative person of our lifetime, and Tesla, because he's lucky enough to be in the back seat of what is clearly like the car. What the last video he posted up was a car. He's like, look at the car didn't even get out of the way, and it was the oncoming car drifted across the double yellow line into their lane. It's like,
yeah.
No duh, the car didn't get out of the way. The car almost hit him.
Blaze, are we allowed to play this commercial on the channel?
You have it up?
It's circulating.
Yeah, I got it up on my screen. It's
Okay.
30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, let me see. Because it's not on mine yet.
Okay.
Not on mine. Oi, what's wrong?
It's okay. Stuff happens. That's but the funny thing is about it is that it's like oh man. It's clearly yeah, man. Oh, here we go. You know how a picture says 1,000 words? All right, there you go. I shared it now. If we can't share it, that's okay, because we can just describe it. But like, it's clearly a competitor. He needs to, defame or dethrone or whatever, and he's using campaign funds or something like that. I don't know. It's just
as a politician, you get discounts on TV commercials.
It's the most mind-blowing thing.
And that's my point. It's like, you're a billionaire and you need a discount. What? It's nuts.
All right, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I mean, the end of the day, it's like there's so much in this system that's completely not made to benefit the system. It's made to just benefit the people that win.
Yeah, the bubble.
Popularity contest. It's American Idol 3 point, 5 point, 10.0, whatever you want to call it, because it has nothing to do with, because they could say, oh, I'm going to make it, we're all going to have an apartment on the moon. You vote for me, I'm going to make sure you have your own apartment on the moon.
Puppy dogs and ice cream. Everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone gets one.
It's never going to rain. Again, well, California, I guess that's the way it is.
I'll get me started on that. Yeah, anyway.
But there was, I think, something else we touched on about like how. Nope, Dan O'Dowd, we got that. Oh yeah, so this is a special election, right? I think we want to go over like.
Yeah, so it's interesting because this is, my campaign team was like, I know you're looking at 2024, but this would be a phenomenal time because it's also a once in a lifetime opportunity, because the seat that's being filled is Kamala Harris's seat. So she was taken from the Senate. The seat was replaced by an appointee. So nobody voted for this person that holds the seat currently.
You should have got in there, Tim. That's what you should have done. You should have somehow finagled your way to be the appointee, and then.
Well, you know how I would have done that. I don't know if it's a rated PG thing, but I probably wouldn't have done it. But not to speculate, because it's not speculation, but the appointee that's there now has been best friends with our governor of California, Gavin Newsom, probably for over 20 years. Yeah. And Gavin Newsom has actually moved him twice in up the ladder rings, and now to the Senate. So like I showed you earlier, he's got the nod of approval from the Democratic Party, which is my party. So that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, thanks for the opportunity to debate, because that's one thing I've asked a million different times of all the candidates. Please let us debate. If you represent the Democratic Party, democracy is the power of the people. That's in the definition of democracy. And they're shaking their fist saying, we need to defend democracy. And I'm like, then debate. Because the power of the people, it gives people like you and me an opportunity to watch the candidates that are running talk and maybe get caught in a lie, because that happens all the time. You see them where they start dancing around an answer, right? And you're like, clearly he has no idea, or clearly she's completely lost.
Do you plan on raising taxes? I have no plan on raising taxes unless well, you know what? And it's just exactly what you mean. But Mindy, who's the co organizer and founder and everything here of Hot Trades, she actually made the thumbnail that we were talking about.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Mindy. I love it. You didn't get my vacation house in there.
She had a huge question. She wants to know, where do you see crypto in the future, say 5 years from now? And what about crypto regulations? Do you think this will get rid of many altcoins, or as they say?
I think it's all going to depend on who's doing the regulating. Again, this is why I feel like in our world, the cryptocurrency world especially, this June 7th election is a big deal, because there's already 2 bills on the Senate floor in regards to cryptocurrency. Again, in air quotes, cryptocurrency. Yeah. But in the body, it's all Bitcoin, all the way through. Yeah. So again, I'm running on the prevention of overregulation, which is a big deal. I feel like as things like what happened with Luna happen, there's even more incentive for people that are clueless at the top to be like, aha, see, they're all scams. They're all scams. So then they become like convinced that Bitcoin is the only thing. It almost like it's a false reality, because again, you've seen it. I mean, so as long as we can avoid overregulation, which is a big deal, I believe that there's an opportunity for our world economy to synergize. And it's going to take somebody that's a little open-minded to present something like this. So, for example, if I was to win, I'd present a bill that gives small businesses that had closed an opportunity to reopen, with the stipulation that they're allowed to accept cryptocurrency, whatever cryptocurrency that may be. They have full opportunity to accept whatever cryptocurrency they want, as well as get the Small Business Association, they grant you a certain loan based on calculations or whatever. So now you've just stimulated small businesses that closed to reopen. You got the small business workers that were maybe now out of a job back into the job force. And you've now created the ability for crypto and the United States dollar to coexist mutually. You can take the United States dollar and you can accept crypto, and you incentivize it, because the reality of it is, in order for cryptocurrency in 5 years to be this major player, we have to have cohesiveness. There has to be synergy between both of them. And I think we all agree that mass adoption is really what it comes down to, regardless of what coin it is. I mean, even with Bitcoin, if there's not mass adoption, it's just a commodity at that point. So with proper regulation, with proper minds in seats, there will absolutely, without 100% shadow of a doubt, there will be coexisting between the United States dollar and cryptocurrency within 5 years. And I think, there are a couple other candidates that are running. Dan Whitfield's a big one out of Arkansas. He was Bitcoin miner or Ethereum miner, something like that. Very pro crypto. He will protect crypto beyond even our comprehension of our ability to protect it, because again, he's an expert in it. So yeah, I think long term we're in good shape regardless of these little speed bumps. And I think that's one thing I want to overemphasize is, when we do have issues in the crypto world, it's they're growing pains. We are a young market, and
Yeah.
nothing's a stop sign. Everything's a speed bump. Speed bumps are
Mhm.
good because you can continue to run. So even what's happening with Luna and there needs to be proper regulation, especially on the exchanges. If there's
Mhm.
not proper regulations in terms of what can be listed,
Yeah.
you're going to basically be creating the OTC penny stock market all over again. And
Yeah.
we've seen it. And all it does is it gives, especially because there's a lack of regulation currently, it
Mhm.
gives malicious players out there an opportunity to capitalize on people that are out of work, that their small business was the one to close. You know what I mean? Everyone's feeling the effects of COVID. Just because COVID is slowly fading doesn't mean that there's not economic downfall for people that lost their jobs. There's a lot of people that lost their jobs. So I feel like we have a unique opportunity with crypto, especially with crypto, to
Mhm.
reignite the economy by creating the mutual synergy between the two, the United States dollar and cryptocurrency, as long as there's proper regulation to prevent excess altcoins from just jumping on an exchange, making it a lottery scratcher, and continuing forward. There needs to be proper monitoring. There needs to be protocols that, auditing every quarter, which is what you do when you're a business. You get audited every quarter. You
Mhm.
introduce the simple things in business, you're doing something right, because then you are going to just kind of decrease the ability for these bad players to come in, steal the white sheet from some other token or coin,
Mhm.
the white paper from another token or coin, recreate it and create their own token, which is what they're
Yep.
doing. What do they
Yep.
call it? Copy pasta? Is that what they call it?
I don't know what they call it, but it's
What are the kids these days calling it? Yeah.
they call it it's
Right.
scam rug pulls. It's called rug pulls. That's what it's
And
called.
it's been too easy
Yeah.
for bad players, and that's where I talk about the need for proper regulation.
Mhm.
So
We
it's not
can't go back in time.
regulation of a decentralized coin. It's regulation to make sure it stays honest to what it was
Correct.
created to do.
Correct.
And I imagine a quote from like I don't have any kids or anyone listening if they have kids. 20 years from now, you could tell them, "Oh, I remember when Dogecoin was 9 cents for every dollar," and they're
Mhm.
going to ask you one of two questions: either A, what's Dogecoin, or B, what's the U.S. dollar? You know what I mean? And I saw something on C-SPAN. I know I'm a geek. I watch C-SPAN sometimes, but there was a congressman. I forgot his name. I should have looked it up before this interview. But anyway, he said this cryptocurrency, we need to nip it in the bud because it's now devaluing our dollar, which is it. The U.S. dollar. I don't know if anyone knows, but we have a lot of international viewers on Hot Trades. The U.S. dollar is like the standard for like oil, uh, any type of commodity that there is, it's always the US dollar, how much US dollar is for gold and this and that. And it gets all the way down to illegal things like drugs and guns and stuff like that. There's like $1 billion of actual cash stowed away in people's houses in other countries, and they're storing it like gold.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And they're worried about cryptocurrency taking away that power that US has. And it feels weird, or I feel kind of scared to talk about it on a open internet thing that it is the only or one of the top reasons why the US has a stronger hand over other countries, whether it be oil, wheat, which is now, going crazy. But
Mhm.
I think what you mentioned, Tim, is that you want to regulate to keep it pure.
The exchanges.
Yes, you don't want to regulate the
No.
the essence of it,
No.
right? Okay.
Nope. Nope. It's the exchanges, and they know. That's the sad part, is they know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're the ones winning.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many rug pulls happen, because they win
Yeah.
regardless of if there's a legitimate token or coin that comes out or not. They win either way.
Yeah.
And common denominator, right? I mean, common sense, common denominator. So,
Mhm.
the proper regulation really is on the exchanges. It's not on the, cryptography itself.
And when I don't know if you guys remember, Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live, and he was talking about Dogecoin, and everyone thought Dogecoin was going to go to the moon when he was on there. But there was a scene when he was on the news, and the guy said, "I have $1. I know that this is $1. I know what it's worth." And Elon had such an opportunity to say, "How do you know it's worth that?" You know what I mean? He could have opened up the conversation, because let's say, you get paid $50,000 a year to do your career.
Mhm.
It's not like you get paid in $50,000 in cash, and then you have that cash sitting underneath your mattress. You put that in a bank, like almost like what I'm trying to say is like 95% of your wealth is already digital. Think about it. You get paid in a check. You pay taxes in digital. You pay for your rent. You pay for your food on credit cards. We're already there. It's just that the government is not. Oh, you know what? We need more money. Let's just print out more money in the last 2 years than we've ever printed before.
Yep. This is a great question, because the question then becomes, what keeps the dollar at a dollar value? And it's really you accepting that it's $1 and me paying you my $1 bill. It's like, at some point, again, the power of the people is a big deal. It's a very, very, very big deal. And again, tying this all together, we know the power of the people is there because we've seen it.
Mhm.
And if we can all just stop the hate, come back to center. You don't have to agree with everybody, but stop hating people. You know what I mean? Like, our leadership has failed us. And even if you take all of these policies and all of the opportunity with crypto or the environment, climate change, whatever it may be, at the end of the day, we as people have to be accountable for how we act as people.
Mm-hmm.
You can't write law on how I need to treat you, because at the end of the day, it's still my choice as a human being to respect you as a fellow human being. And our leadership doesn't do this at the top, so there's no way that they can expect that to happen down here. We watch them on a daily basis talk about how evil both sides are, and it's disgusting, because again, they're in the leadership role. So when they come to the to TV and they tell us, oh, we scream for equality, and then the next thing you do is you watch them talk about racism over here, discrimination over there, we're discriminating against the LGBTQI community. Like, you're the ones telling us we need to be equals, and then you guys are on the mainstream telling us how it's just, if you're gonna stand for equality, then you need to practice what you preach.
You need to be equal.
You need to be equal. It's so easy to do, but again, it's such a political. Everything's politicized. Everything is a good talking point. So the reality of it is some of these politicians, they have to hold on to that, because that's the only way that they can retain their base, and that's sick, because that's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to represent everybody equally. You don't pick and choose certain demographics because they benefit you. And we've seen that, and we continue to see it. Again, it's just strange that it's even still a thing. In the modern era, it's mind-boggling. But again, it starts at the top. If they don't practice what they preach, it's hard for people that are glued to Fox News or glued to CNN, because that's really what it is. It's the line in the sand. Who do you listen to, and when do you start respecting the other side's point of views? The ability to debate and the ability to communicate is huge, and we don't have that.
I think it's become so divided, and I have family that on both sides, and friends on both sides, and they always say, "Oh, I unfriended him because he's just, all he talks about is this person and that person." So why, engage with them? You know what I mean? Like, you can't learn anything in an echo chamber,
No.
and you can't progress without learning what the other side feels. And I think you are running on not a color, you just happen to be on the Democratic ticket, but I feel that you get both sides. I feel like everyone has their own wants and stuff, but it's almost like everyone's party blind. Because I know a lot of people that believe in one part of a party and they would never believe in the other part. But yet now they all of a sudden they believe in that other part of the party because that's what they should.
Well, the proof's in the pudding. Alex Padilla, who I'm running against, he came out last week and was like, "We need to end the filibuster." And I'm like, Donald Trump said that in 2019, and you guys were calling him a dictator and a tyrant.
Exactly.
But now that it's flipped, and now we have a Democratic majority, all of a sudden it's like, we need to get rid of this filibuster. It's in the way. It's stopping us from being able to pass these bills.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, again, running party blind. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But you can't pick when it's time appropriate.
You can't run on one, idea, and then when that idea fades and someone else runs against it, you can't all of a sudden be against it.
Right.
You can't be for and against it. You have to believe. You have to have your own beliefs. But India has another great question. What's your ideas on the current market crash situation, or inflation, or interest rates?
I feel like
we'll save the tough ones for last, Tim.
No, I like this. No, this it's actually isn't. It's not as tough as it sounds. I do not believe in, like, again, if we're gonna go back to equality, taxation is a great opportunity for us economically to prove equality. I'm not gonna excessively tax the uber wealthy and lower the taxes on the middle and lower classes. I'm gonna lower all taxes on all classes, because you want to know what that inevitably does? It incentivizes the uber wealthy to reinvest into the market. You put more money into the economy by reinvesting in the economy. And I think, again, going back to what the power of crypto has, if you incentivize mass adoption by pinning cryptocurrency as part of the Small Business Association's growth to reinstill small businesses to accept cryptocurrency, you're inevitably going to deflate inflation. You're going to kind of pop that inflation bubble, because we have more abilities to pay with things. There are a lot of people that have a lot of US dollars transferred into crypto. They're never going to, and I'm one of them. I have my cryptos that I hold. I have no intention of selling them. I want to spend them. I want to spend it. And there's just a whole lot of money in Bitcoin, and a lot of Bitcoiners want to spend their Bitcoin. There's a lot of people that have, even Luna. You can see it on your guys' thing here. People that own Luna that probably want to spend Luna. So to cut them off and say, no, you have to spend US dollars only with this parallel economy is foolish. And it's very, very, very foolish, because there are a lot of people that own crypto. There's a lot of people that want to spend crypto. And there are a lot of people in that same group that refuse to transition crypto back to the United States dollar. So why not strengthen them and empower them and allow them to spend their crypto through mass adoption? That's the whole key here. So again, if we can implement a mass adoption, you naturally will create deflation.
Yes. I think once we reach a point where the cryptocurrency is not compared to, how much is it worth in dollars, or how much is it worth in
That's nonsense.
Pesos.
That's
right.
Nonsense.
Once it becomes, this is my Bitcoin, or altcoin, whatever, this is how much I want to pay you for this thing of deodorant, that's when it becomes,
hey, you know what? I'm sure the transition from gold to a piece of paper backed by gold was probably not easy for a lot of people.
Exactly.
I'd be willing to bet that. And then let's go even further. I'm sure for our parents and our grandparents, when the credit card came out, I'm sure it was very hard for them to be like, no. Cash only. Sorry, out of this card. What are we going to swipe it? What do you do with this thing? And now,
remember those things that you had to go back and forth 3 or 4 times?
On the carbon paper.
I might be dating myself. But carbon paper, exactly.
But I mean, it's the exact same thing. Like you said earlier, that was digitizing the USD. It just wasn't in this fashion. And, this is kind of a similar transition where you've digitized the United States dollar. Just don't call it a credit card. Call it Bitcoin. Call it Ethereum. Call it Luna. Call it Solana. Call whatever you want.
Call it Timcoin.
Call it Timcoin. Don't do that, because people will go and create that. We'll be linked to that. But yeah, no, that's her name was Mindy, right?
Yes.
Hopefully that answers your question. We have such a tool here. I mean, it's like the fact that crypto is being blatantly ignored should tell us everything that we need to know because the top fears it.
Mm-hmm.
They've made their fortunes on United States dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that the cryptocurrency sector, decentralization, is a complete threat to them.
Yes.
And that's a big deal to people that are career politicians, because when you threaten their seats or you threaten their wealth, at some point, I don't care what the bubble is, bubbles pop.
Yeah.
The inflation bubbles pop. The Fed rate eventually. I mean, come on. I mean, they're going to keep raising this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this bubble of the career politicians is what we want.
Every bubble pops at some point. Like I think we talked about, the silent majority is the majority for a reason. We're just quiet about it. But we're here, and eventually enough of us are going to be fed up, and we get tired. Fights get tiring. Listen, a boxer can go 12 rounds, but I'm pretty sure he's tired in the 11th, right? And then eventually the 12th rounds and the bell rings, and it's like, okay, who won?
Yeah.
And then what? And then what? Then you got to go back into your corner and go into your camp and say, okay, now what? Let's figure this out. Let's move forward from this. So eventually the fight stops. Eventually eventually the citizens versus politicians fight stops, because that's really what we got. We got, I don't like my representation because of this, and therefore I hate them. And again, this isn't me. This is the general. I hate them because they have different views, or I'm not going to vote for this bill because it was written by the party that I don't like. It may be the best bill presented to the Senate floor, but because it was written by a party I don't like, I'm not going to vote for it just because it was written by a different party. I mean, come on. This is modern day. It's literally modern day segregation, which again is why I talk about equality. The top can't come to us and say we have to treat each other as equals when they go back to the Senate floor and they treat each other as segregated entities. It's mind-boggling. And like you said, eventually the bubble's going to pop. It may be with me. It might not be. It might just be somebody that I motivate. Like I was telling Doc on when we first talked. The best thing that comes out of this, regardless of if I win or lose, and listen, it'd be fantastic if I won, because I can get in right now, June 7th. I can have my look into the propositions, the bills that are being written in regards to crypto. But the ultimate win is motivating the next generation of politicians who aren't career politicians to run and to win. That's the ultimate win. So this isn't just about me living in the moment, because again, believe me, I would love to get in, expose the bills, relay the information about the bills that are being presented, and especially in terms of crypto, and say, what do you guys think? What do we think? And then take it back to the Senate floor and be like, no, crypto community, no, they don't want this, because that's really what would end up happening.
Yeah. I think a great quote that I've heard, I think it might be Benjamin Franklin. You guys can Google it, but it stands to be said here. It's the person who plants the seed is not necessarily the one that gets to bear the best fruit, which means like what we're doing here today and trying to change the system. It might not happen right away, but you plant that seed and eventually things are going to change.
Right. No, that's exactly right. And, it's funny because at the beginning, especially in crypto, you did hear a lot, like, I'm not investing for me, I'm investing for my kids.
Yes.
I'm not investing for me, I'm investing for my grandkids. We heard that was like a general consensus. But as like, I guess as human nature kind of progressed, and people were like, I lost my job. I lost my job, and I kind of need the cash. So all of a sudden, they did become OTC penny stock flippers, and the community comfort did shift. But my hat's off to the GameStop and the AMC community, because even though there are a handful of people that have been flipping the stock for profit, for the most part, the community stayed very, very tight knit and very true to, hey, this is history, and I'm all for this, and I love this, and this is our opportunity. And the reality of it is things do take a long time, especially in America. Our legal system and bills getting passed through the Senate, they do take a long time.
what do you call it? Solidification that the people that own AMC stock have, they could run into like, the best trader in the world and be like, you have to sell that AMC right now. You're an idiot. To be like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. They believe in it. And it's
Right.
more than just
It's the
economic.
movement. It's the
yeah,
movement.
it's movement.
It is the movement. And this is again where
I'm
I
holding this to zero. You know what I mean?
I love to tell people this because they're like, what are you, crazy? I'm like, no, I'm not crazy. I believe in this. This is a movement. This isn't. I felt when I watched the videos of like storming Wall Street and like the interviews with the Robin Hood guy that was dressed up in the Robin Hood thing and he was walking into Wall Street. Remember that?
Yeah.
Man, we were all like glued, like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, oh my God, we all of a sudden feel like we have power again.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that power never went away. We just forgot we had it, and we forgot that it was with us.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be foolish for us to just allow that momentum to fade.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say tying this all in with GameStop, the AMC movement, the Dogecoin movement, the cryptocurrency as a whole movement.
Mm-hmm.
This is our opportunity to like bring it all back to one giant ball of power and say, we didn't go away. We're still here, buds. We're all here. And guess what? We're now going to have a say in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's power.
Tim, you bring up so many amazing points, and I want to thank you so much for this amazing, refreshing look at politics mixed with crypto at the same time. Where can people go to follow you? What's your website?
Sure.
What are we looking at?
Sure. So it's Dr. Timothy Ursich Jr.com. It's my website. It's got some music playing, so make sure your volume's up.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know there's music.
It's very listen, I've told everybody, I've gone through 3 different campaign teams and they hate me.
Yeah.
Every campaign team has hated me because I told them I'm running unconventional. I do not want to run the traditional political way. My Senate seat, they quoted me that we needed to raise anywhere between 20 and 50 million dollars to be competitive in my race. I was like, listen, $3,000 for the fee to become a candidate, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't listen, as long as I don't tap out and say I quit, I'm still in the game.
Yeah.
Our community at some point is going to wake up and be like, hey, wait a minute.
This guy is
This could be a very powerful thing. We're talking about writing law.
Yeah.
We could write law for our own benefit, like something that we can protect. And again, this is the Elon Musk quote: protect what you love.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way to protect what you love? Have a say in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody else that's in the Senate currently that can say that they're writing laws because they're protecting what they love, because they have a vested interest and they grew from that community rather than were groomed from the political community.
Mm-hmm.
That's power. The power of the people is still here with the GameStop AMC crypto movement, and it's just time to be like, box, we're in. We got it. We're here. So that's my website, drtimothyursichjr.com. Obviously, Twitter, it's Ursich for Senate CA. I'm on TikTok. But man, I'm on TikTok. My motivation.
You could be the first senator that is on TikTok. This is going to be exciting.
Well, my thought process behind getting on TikTok was I want to motivate the next generation to register to vote, regardless of who they vote for. I obviously do care if they vote for me, but regardless of if they vote for me or not, it is a freedom and it is a privilege that we neglect very, very often. And the next generation, they need to be more proactive. There's stats out there that show from 40 and under how many are registered to vote. And it's not good. I think it's something like 30% or something like that. So
people should be excited to be, oh my God, I can vote now.
Well, there's a perception that's been created from the current political system that my vote doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they feel like they're canceling each other out.
In West Virginia, something like 20 or 26% of the entire state votes, like year after year after year. I might be wrong on that. I'm not the fact checker of this, but it's a gross, just it's you said it the right way. It's such a great thing to have to do that people just neglect. And for you to encourage people to vote before they're able to vote,
That's key.
that's it. The seed that plants the tree that bears the fruit for years to come.
And that you're exactly right. You got to plant that seed, you got to water it, and you got to have people willing to water it when you're not around to water it, right? And that's the movement. It's not just me. Replace me with someone else that has the same fire and passion. But make sure you got a team behind you that are watering that tree to make sure that it becomes fruitful for people.
Doug wants to let you know, one person in the Senate chamber won't change the world. You need more alliances, and this is where it starts, Doug. This is exactly where it starts.
That's the thing, is you got to have people willing to run that have nothing to lose.
That's right. And you already have your career, which I'm going to let you get back to. We already went over much overtime.
Did we? This has been the most enjoyable interview I think I've had.
Let's go.
Aside from the first one. The first one was awesome because it was obviously the first one. But man, they were like, who are you and where did you come from? I'm like, I'm a citizen who actually gives a flange. You know what I mean? It's like,
I'm a guy in the same line checking out your grocery store with you.
Yeah, I'm the guy that's not going to the self-checkout because I know that self-checkout replaced the worker.
That's right.
I'm that guy because I think like that. So if you do want to check me out on TikTok,
TikTok.
It is Ursich for Senate. I think that's it. Just Ursich for Senate. But I will advise, I will tell you this. I look exhausted in every single video because I'm doing them at like midnight.
It can be, it's a lot.
Well, it's
like 45-second videos, right? I mean,
I do 3 minutes. I'm going 3 minutes, baby.
Woo! 3 minutes. That's
I go
not
full.
TikTok hour. That's like we got to get you your own between TikTok and Facebook. There should be like a 3-minute window.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to say, and the deeper I get into this, the more I'm being exposed to, and I have a lot to say. So, I started out with TikToking about the process, and then I obviously got into policy. So, when you do check out my website, drtimothyursichjr.com, if you click on key points, you're going to see everything that I stand for in terms of my platform, and I really do want everybody that's listening and will listen going forward to check me out, because although this is obviously my bread and butter, I have real life, concerns just like everybody else in terms of like the crime here in California, especially homeless crisis. I have real life solutions, but they're common sense thinking solutions. They're not party affiliated. They may not be the most compassionate, but they're realistic. And that's the thing is, I'm not here to be the nicest guy. I know I got people that don't like me out there, and it's just I'm also human. I'm also somebody that's going to speak up. So again, when you got nothing to lose, you kind of become a power play. And this June 7th here in California will be interesting. It's already been interesting, but I'm excited to be a part of this. And again, I'm excited to connect with everybody and chat with you guys. And there you go. I don't know if you don't know if you can play the music or not, but the music is it's something.
I can't believe I did not know you had music on your website. I've been here maybe like 24 times.
Oh yeah, and I do accept crypto. So if you scroll,
where is that? Here we go.
There you go. So it's funny because I didn't want to accept Dogecoin because I was like, it feels gritty and it feels gross. But then I would start talking about mass adoption. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm discounting the ability to donate cryptocurrency as I'm promoting, mass adoption. It's kind of a big deal. And by the way, I didn't get to pick what I accepted. This is an auto-populated, like what the state allows.
Okay.
So you have a bear as the state of California. Does that mean that
that's a coyote? That's a coyote. That's a coyote because we're. I'm just kidding.
That is not a coyote, too.
I'm just kidding. But really, California has such a coyote problem. It should be a coyote.
What are you going to do about the coyote problem, Tim? That's what we want to know. Come on.
Poor things.
What district he wants to know? But I think Senate is statewide.
It's U.S. It's technically, I think, 53 or 57, but it's not a district vote. It's the United States Senate.
Roger,
Tim,
that's what it is.
I can't thank you enough. People have questions rolling in. I'm sure this is going to be watched over and over again.
I love
And
to talk. Ask
yes,
away.
I
Ask
know.
away.
I just wanted, for the record, I tried to get you out of here at 30
Honestly,
minutes.
I
At
was
40
checking my
minutes.
phone. And I haven't gotten the 5-minute warning yet. So
Oh,
I
I'm supposed
technically
to.
do.
Now it's on me.
No. That's from my other call, the call that I have coming up. But I don't
Okay.
know who's mousing around here. But if you click on at the top, can't really read what it says. But if it says my platform or key points,
My platform? Yeah.
click that and you'll see key points. And then you'll see like each one's got a drop down. So I gave you a little write up about each one.
Which one do you want me to click on?
I don't know. I can't read it because it's kind of blurry. You could pick one.
We already covered crypto. How about opiate crisis? That's
Oh
close
God,
to me.
what a nightmare. Where to start? I mean, you can read that. This is again this is like a snapshot because obviously we could talk about the mess that this has created.
We'll have to handle that again. If you ever need an expert on that, I can fill that seat. I'll tell you real quick before I let you go, because now we're an hour and 5 minutes over. But
sure.
I've had a major accident about 10 years ago, and I was on Oxycontin and oxycodone for the last 9 years. And I recently just came off of it, and I switched doctors. And they're like, well, your last doctor, I'm not going to say this, but there's been new developments that he should have taken you off that and this and that. He kept me on it to keep me coming back to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole, you open like one, it's almost like the Russian dolls. You take off one thing and there's another. Well, how does he do that? It's because the big farmer comes down and does this. And okay, because of those, it's insane. But I mean,
you bring up a good point. And one of the thoughts that come to mind is it more cost beneficial to cure cancer? Or is it more cost beneficial to keep cancer around and make sure that people are on chemo and continuing their life as cancer patients? Obviously, for big farm, they make a lot more money in keeping people sick. So getting people hooked on opiates that's the crisis. It's not so much the usage as much as it is the enabling of the usage.
That's absolutely right.
And that's my synopsis of my summary on the opiate crisis there. But yeah, by all means, go through those, dissect them. Like I said, I love to talk. I could talk all day.
Yeah.
Pepper me with questions. If things don't make sense, listen, I can't emphasize enough that I want this to be a collaborative seat. And any issue that gets brought up, listen, I'm coming from ground zero from our level. So if things don't make sense or you think you got better ideas, by all means, reach out. I mean, I'm an open book. I'm not going to send my assistant to answer emails. You're getting my response in emails. So reach out to me, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I blew your mind a little bit because
I told you I just wanted to sit back and listen.
And you did a great job of that.
I've never heard Blaze be this quiet in the entire time I've ever known him.
You know what? What's sad is, and I'll let you guys go with this, is politics have become very intimidating. And it shouldn't be that way. I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. I was just going to say,
hey, man.
I think one of the only good thing that came out of the Trump administration is the fact that he made people care about politics. Because I know so many people that did not give two flying rips about politics before he took office. So regardless of where you stand in terms of you like Trump, you don't like Trump, he made a lot of people care about politics really quick, really quick.
He made you focus in on your day-to-day, goings-ons with your president. He woke up.
That's exactly right. And it's definitely a good thing.
It was such a window into the presidency that I think a lot of people don't realize. Like, oh my God, he's tweeting again. But you're following him. You know what I mean? And you could discuss his personality all you want, but it was a really, really interesting look into the presidency that I don't think we're ever going to have again. And maybe our children will, but
listen, it's a tip of the hat to digital media. because the reality of it is when you were reading in the newspaper 30 years ago, now we got it everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all in front of our faces. But again, I have a hard time complimenting the Trump administration for very much, but he definitely opened the eyes to a lot of people that could give two flying rips about politics. And that's a good thing, in my opinion. It was bad how it kind of ended, obviously. But at the end of the day, here we are now. Politics matter.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
And there's always something good out of something that you think initially is bad. It's great.
Hindsight's always 2020, obviously.
Except you're Tom Brady, and it's
coming out of retirement, baby.
Monday morning quarterbacking. There's no Monday morning. Tom Brady. I just win. That's it.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you. Mindy, I appreciate you behind the scenes working your magic.
Let's go.
If you guys have questions, by all means, reach out. I'm an open book, so let's chat.
Dr. Tim,
thank you so much. We will be in contact. We'll do this again.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. See you guys.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Alrighty. Doug, thank you very much. Thank you for running that. Time to thrust. It's time to thrust. No, we have another stream, guys.
What are we watching? We're watching Luna?
Yeah, the next stream, guys. There you go. Thanks. Yeah. And what? And thrust virus. There will be non-stop thrusting. Thank you for the super chat on the next stream, which starts in 4 minutes. So that's the link. Yeah.
A crypto stream. That's right. Yeah. All right.
So there you go. Well, Doug, thank you very much.
All right, guys. I'll see you in 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, alrighty. Okay, bye, guys. See you guys in no time. Thank you. Bye, all. Bye. Go to the next stream, I guess. Bye. Kryptonites. Let's go, Christy Roger. Breaking support. Yeah, it is.